Welcome to the ExpandHer Podcast with myself, Sarah-Louise Sutton. I am an intuitive energy healer, channel, Reiki teacher, coach, and mentor, and founder of the Inspirit School of Energy, here to help you on your spiritual journey, to up-level your vibration, to activate your soul and purpose, and ultimately elevate your life and business. It is my intention that through myself and special guests, talking about all things intuition, guidance, channeling, manifesting, healing, and energetics, that you get expanded, you feel inspired, and you receive a giant hug for your soul. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and it is from my heart to yours that I am sending you so much love. Hello, welcome back to the ExpandHer Podcast. I hope you're doing very well. And I have a brand new solo episode today. And this has come very inspired by a lot of recent sessions recently that have had a very big core theme running through them. And the messages that have been coming through from my client spirit guides have also all been very in line with each other. And obviously there's always nuance. There's always things that are specific for certain clients, of course, but there is definitely a big theme running through all of this. And so I want to share with you in this episode a really key component to calling in something that right now, ultimately, you don't have. And so that might be money, it might be love, it might be success, it might be friendship or companionship, anything ultimately that you want that you don't have right now, or that you feel you're really lacking in right now. And the thing that's been coming up for a lot of the people that have been booking in sessions is money related. And so at the moment they are struggling to receive more money. A lot of the people that kind of come to me have their own businesses and like their businesses aren't doing that great, or there's just not as much money coming in as normal. And they are feeling the lack. They are feeling the need for money. And this can be related to other things as well. I also just really want you to know that. So if it is, a partner that you're after, and at the moment you don't have someone, it's the same energy, right? There's this need for something and you don't have it right now. And like I said, what's been coming through as guidance for the people that I've been having sessions with recently has all been very much along the same lines. And this is something I've spoken about loads, by the way, on this podcast. So this is nothing new, but it definitely deserves its own podcast episode. And in a nutshell, and this is not how guides say it, disclaimer, but in a nutshell, it is that you cannot have needy energy towards something that you want and be at the same time an energetic match for it. That is it in a nutshell. And this is the hardest thing to do when you actually do need something, right? Like I really also get it. And this is a cycle of mine as well. I also am highlighting this. Like this is always a cycle of mine of when I want something, I can really easily fall into the energy of I really need something, and then that prevents it from coming. So there's a lot of I get it here kind of energy. But it is so key when you are wanting something, when you are calling something into your life, whether that is money, whether that is love, whether that is friendship, whether that is success, that you are not in the energy of needing it. Because needing it is ultimately the energy of lack. Right? You don't need something that you already have. You only need something that you don't have. And so the frequency, the vibration behind needing something is lack. It is that you don't have it. And so when you're thinking of the law of attraction and the fact that our energy is always calling forward like energy into our life, if you're vibrating at lack energy, you are going to receive more lack energy. You're definitely not going to receive abundance. If you are in the energy of lack of, love or kind of companionship, you're definitely not going to call forward love or companionship. It really is, really sinking into the energy behind neediness. And it is always that it is not there now. And so that is always going to be the energy that you are most likely to be drawing into you and magnetizing into you. And so if you are in the energy of lacking, let's say, money, abundance, financial support, then it's definitely not going to be the energy that is going to draw abundance to you. They're two different energies. They're opposite ends of the spectrum. They're not even close to each other. They're literally the opposite. And so this is why when you feel abundant, let's say you've had a load of money coming in, that's why even more money then comes in from there, right? Because you're already feeling abundant. You're feeling that money is easy. You're feeling that money is coming to you. So you are the perfect energetic match for just more of that coming to you. Like, it is literally, the basics of energetics. And this is why when you feel love from someone, when you feel like admiration from someone, this is why you find a lot of people also giving you the same energy, because you're no longer lacking it. You're actually in the energy of it. And, it's kind of like the same as, like, I don't know if this is a worldwide saying, actually. It might just be an English thing. But there's a saying in England that it's never just one bus that comes. It's like you waiting ages for a bus and then 5 come at once. And it's kind of like the same energy here, right? It's like you either don't have anything and then you're not attracting anything. But then when you have the energy of it a little bit, there's the energy of loads of it. It's kind of like the same saying, like, it never rains, it just pours. It's kind of the same thing. This is because when we are in the energy of abundance, we attract so much more abundance. It's so easy to make money when you feel abundant. Like, it just flows in. It's like the floodgates open. And so it's actually just kind of like getting the gate to open in the first place that is the thing that really requires a lot of conscious effort. And this is why also when you don't really care about something, you manifest it really easily, because there's no needy energy behind it. There's no need, there's no lack. It would just be fun if that was to happen. And like, these are the things that we normally manifest, within a day. Like, they're so easy to manifest things like that. And so it really isn't necessarily about mastering the art of manifestation, I feel. What I really feel is it's actually mastering the art of not needing something that you feel you need. That is the practice to then actually receiving what you want. Because, we don't have to keep asking for what we want. The universe knows what we want. The universe knows. And energy, the universe is just constantly doing its thing. We don't have to work at that. That's just always bringing forward the kind of energy that you're at now. So that also takes care of itself. So like, the process of manifesting isn't really anything you have to do. The only thing you have to do is work on being in alignment with what you want. And the hardest thing is when it's something you want that you don't have now, because that's the mastery. Is how do you not need something that you need? How do you not really, really need something that you really, really need, or really crave, or feel like you're really missing? And sometimes this is why, if you're starting a business, for example, sometimes the best thing you can do is have another source of income to start with, because you're not needing the money to come in through your business. Like, this is a big thing I recommend to a lot of clients. Obviously, it's very, dependent on each person, but sometimes it's the best thing to do, especially if you're someone that falls into the fear of, in this case, money. Then actually having this source of money already there is the easiest way for you to manifest it in your business. Sometimes having a backup plan is a good thing. Despite what a lot of, manifestation kind of, coaches or books say, sometimes having a backup plan is a good thing, because it means that you're not in fear over it. You're not, in that energy of really, really needing it, because there's another option. So if you're looking for a house, or somewhere to rent, having a backup plan, having somewhere that's kind of worst case scenario, but it's somewhere to live, this could be amazingly beneficial for actually calling in the place that you want, because there's not that, level of fear there that you're going to be homeless, you're not going to have anywhere to live. Sometimes I'm a big fan of a backup plan. And the other kind of perspective you can see this from as well is, and I've spoken about this method of manifesting before, of where, if you want, let's say, a relationship, you have to become the version of you that has the relationship now, right? You have to energetically be that person now. Now, the person that has a relationship is never thinking, oh my God, I need a relationship. They're never thinking, I want a relationship. They're never thinking, why don't I have a relationship? They're never thinking, when is a relationship coming? They're thinking and feeling just fulfilled, right? They're feeling the love. They're feeling the companionship. They're feeling that energy. And this is also another way that you can look at it, in terms of, if you want something, you have to be that version of you now. You have to have those thoughts, those feelings, those basically the energy of that person that has it now. And so this is another really great way of just like a different perspective. It's the same thing, but a different perspective. And so, the version of you that has a load of abundance, they're not thinking, oh my God, when am I going to get paid? When am I going to get money? When am I going to get more clients, or this, that, or the other? They're just kind of enjoying their abundance. They're just kind of living and enjoying it, right? They're not worrying about it. And so you have to be that version. You have to be the person that isn't worrying about it, that isn't constantly asking where it is, that isn't constantly seeking it or desiring it, because the version of you that has it already isn't doing those things. They're content. They're peaceful. They're probably not even thinking about the fact they now have it. This is a big thing. Like, they're probably not thinking about money because money's just there. They're probably not thinking about their relationship because the relationship's not there. Like, in my relationship, I never think about it, in the sense of it's not something that occupies my mind, because it's there and I'm like, it's a beautiful relationship. It's not something that I sit and really think about. And so, if I was trying to seek a relationship, me sitting and thinking about it all the time is not the energy that's going to attract it in. They're literally opposites again. And so actually, what does help you bring it in is the energy of it, as if you have it. And so, for example, if you are looking for the relationship, it is you feeling completely fulfilled. It is you feeling fulfilled and in love with yourself, your life, that is going to bring someone to you. It is feeling that satisfaction already with everything as it is, that is going to bring that part to you. And people say this all the time, like, oh, as soon as you stop looking for someone, the perfect person arrives. And it's exactly that. As long as you're feeling fulfilled and satisfied, you're so much more likely for that person that you want to come into your life. And the same with money. If you are feeling abundant, if you are feeling satisfied, if you are feeling fulfilled already, you are so much more likely going to call it in. So much more likely. And a big thing with money as well is, when you are in fear of money and you buy a coffee, or you buy your groceries, or you buy whatever it is, it's very easy to go in full fear of that, right? And to be like, oh my God, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money, fearing money, having guilt around spending money. There's a lot of negative energy that comes every time you buy something or pay for something when you have a lot of fear around money. But again, if you put yourself into the shoes of someone that has abundance, they don't think about it. Right? Like, they may be grateful that they can buy these things, but they're not fearing it, they're not stressing about it, and it's not taking up much mind space. And so this is the energy that you want to be embodying if you want to be bringing it forward, if you want to open those gates. And as soon as you open those gates, it's going to be a lot easier to start calling more into you. And so it's about becoming so aware during the day, during your day-to-day life, of the thoughts that come up around the thing that you want. And are those thoughts and those feelings, like, what direction are they? Are they in the lack of it, in the fear of it, or not having of it, or are they in it? Are they the energy that's going to call more of it in? And the thing is, although affirmations are great and rewiring thoughts are great, but it's your energy that attracts, right? It's your energy that manifests. It's your energy that does things. And so if you're just saying the words, but you're not feeling it and you're not working on feeling it, like, you might as well not be saying the words. Like, it has to be an energetic thing. And that really isn't always the easiest thing to do. And like I said, I get it. And it's not. When you really need something, it's very hard to get into the energetic match of not needing it, and of having it, and of not feeling that stress. And the thing is when we're in this energy of needing it, it occupies our mind nonstop, right? There's this energy of needing to fix. There's an energy of needing to solve the problem. There's an energy of needing to do something, because as humans, we are hardwired. If there's a problem, like if there is a need, then we are hardwired to fix. Like, that's just this thing that happens as human beings. And so when there is something that's quite absent in your life, it's very easy to become obsessed about it and need it. But like I said, if you actually had it, then it wouldn't be taking up barely any mind activity whatsoever. Now, one way to kind of break the cycle of being in this obsessive overthinking, can't stop thinking about it, kind of energy that is rooted in lack, and this might sound a bit weird, but one of the easiest ways to break that cycle and almost get out of the way and let the thing come to you is distracting yourself with something else. And obviously, I'm not saying distract yourself with something, like alcohol or something like that, but like distract yourself with a completely different topic, subject, something to occupy your mind so that you're not thinking about it. Because if you actually really need something, it can be so hard to clean that up into only thinking about the positive of it. Like, it's very hard. Like, you can be saying all the right things and like, no, I trust it's coming, I'm excited for it. And you can be saying all the right things, but it is very hard to completely clean up your energy and not have any lack energy coming through. Because like I said, it's not your words, it's your energy. And it can be very hard. The more you need something, the harder it is. And so sometimes one of the best things you can do is distract yourself with something completely different. And it's not even about not taking action, right? I want to make that really clear. We need to take action, right? And so if, let's say, for example, you're trying to receive abundance and you have a business, then obviously there's actions that need to be taken. It's not about not doing things, but it's about kind of distracting your thoughts, your thought processes, so that you aren't constantly in this state and this thought pattern of needing something and not having it and being in this lack energy. And the really good thing as well with when it comes to kind of action is, when you really do shift your energy, action will come from an inspired place. And when the action that you're taking is from an inspired energy, not from a lack energy, the results will also be different that come from that action. So it's kind of not about not doing things, but it is like distracting your mind, distracting your thought process so that your energy changes into that can actually attract what it is that you want. I heard this first of all through Abraham, like from Esther Hicks. And this was years ago. And it has been a very powerful way for me breaking a cycle. If I've ever got into the habit of needing something and I can't stop thinking about it and obsessing about it and it's not coming, obviously, this has been something that's been incredibly helpful for breaking that cycle and getting out of the way. Like, I might not be in the energy of having it, but I'm definitely not in the energy of not having it. And that's the main thing. And what's come through from guides during a lot of the recent sessions is highlighting, that the energy shift and the energy shift that needs to happen, the energy shift that's not quite matching right now. And the other thing that they really talk about is not necessarily forgetting about it, but to stop worrying about it, to stop obsessing about it, to stop focusing on it, to start focusing on your life, to start focusing on what you have in other areas, to start focusing on the things that are right. And there is always so many things that are right? If you're listening to a podcast episode, on your phone or on your computer, there's a lot going right for you. And there is always things that are going right. And our guides want us to see these things, not thinking about the other things, thinking about the things we do have, thinking about what is going right. And again, they say it differently, but ultimately distracting from the subject. Because like I said, if you really need something, it's very hard to then be like, okay, I'm changing my energy now. I'm going from really needing, let's say, money to, oh my God, I have so much money, and you're kind of faking it. And whilst, if you do it enough, it might work. It's very hard to fake something when there's fear there and there's lack there and there's a real needing of it. And with something like money, there is normally a lot of fear and there is a lot more needing of it than something like a relationship. And so sometimes it's easier not to try and persuade yourself that you're in abundance when you don't feel abundant. Sometimes it's easier to not try and hack your own mind when, it's just not really landing. It's easier to just think about a completely different thing. Think about a different subject. Stop thinking about money if it's money that's the thing. Stop thinking about the relationship if it's a relationship that's the thing. Completely focus on a completely different area. And it might be learning a new skill to distract yourself, right? Do a new course and distract yourself, or learn some new things on YouTube and distract yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's being fully present in your life now. It's just more taking your thoughts and your mind away from being on the topic that it's on right now. Because ultimately, if you're thinking about it, you're blocking it. If you really need it and you're thinking about it, you're blocking it. And so getting out the way is one of the easiest ways to actually just allow it in. And when I say get out of the way, stop thinking about it. Stop pouring, I'm seeing the visual of black tar all over it, kind of like a visual of by you thinking about it, you're putting all the black tar all over it. Whereas just stop thinking about it, and it's just got an easy kind of route there. And one of the visuals actually, or the analogies that I had for a client, which is just such a great visual, is, it's a bit rogue though, so bear with me. It's like a runway, airplane runway. And, this runway and a plane landing on this runway is the thing that you want. So if you're looking for a relationship, it's the relationship. If you're looking for money, it's the money coming. And when you're thinking about it, in the sense of that you don't have it, or even in the sense of kind of really wanting it to come, where is it? What do I need to do to get it? Anything that isn't just pure, I already have it energy, you're putting all this debris on this runway. And this was a vision that I saw. It's like all of this debris, and the plane obviously can't land when there's a load of stuff on the runway, right? It can't land when your thoughts are getting involved. It can't land when your feelings, your energy is getting involved. You need to get all the debris off the runway. And it's very hard to do that if you're still trying to think about it. And if you're thinking about it in any capacity even. So you need to look the other way. You need to completely face a different direction and have the majority of your thoughts about something else. And I'm not saying you can't think about it ever, but the point is what you're thinking about the most is what you're going to be attracting the most, right? And so if you are the majority of the time not thinking about the subject of money, more than thinking about the absence of it, you're going to start attracting it in. But if you are thinking more about the lack of money, the needing of money, where is money, more than you're thinking about, feeling satisfied, feeling fulfilled, then you're not going to be calling it in. It's like, what are you in the most? What energy are you in the most? And this is what you're going to be attracting in. And so it's like, get off the runway completely. Stop putting debris on it. Get off the runway, look the other way, and just let the plane land. Just let the plane land. And what's been so beautiful, and I've had this time and time again in my own life. So, I know this works. But what's been so beautiful is with the sessions that I've been having recently is how quickly this works. It's how quickly things shift. And this is the thing that you really, really, really need to remember is energy can shift so damn quickly. Frequency can shift so damn quickly. You just need to listen to the right thing. You just need to have one beautiful thought. You just need to have one beautiful meditation, an energy healing. You just need to listen to the right thing at the right time. You just need to see the most beautiful puppy playing instantly on the floor. You just need to see the most beautiful tree that just makes you feel in awe of nature, and your energy can shift instantly. And when your energy shifts instantly, your reality will shift instantly. And like I said, as soon as, a little bit of abundance starts trickling in, it all starts flowing in because you're in the energy of it. And so it's just opening that gate. And, like a lot of my clients' guides have been saying, that can be focusing, instead of what it is that you don't have, focusing on what is so right, what is so amazing, what you already have, not on the subject of it, but on a different subject, thinking about other things, thinking about your health, thinking about your family, your friends, your relationship. Like, there's so many things that are nothing to do with money, but when money is a thing, it's so preoccupying. Like, it is so preoccupying, and I get it. But there are so many other things that you can think about that just get you off that runway and just let the plane land. And it can happen so quickly, and you need to hold that. You need to hold that thought that it can change so quickly. It does not take a long time for things to change. Like, I promise you that. And what I have seen, like I said, in myself, in my past, but also so recently with my clients and my sessions, is it changes so quickly. You just have to get out of the way of that plane landing. And the funny thing is like, this is the biggest permission slip to just focus on other things that you enjoy doing. Like, focus on something that brings you joy. Focus on different things that just make you feel good. Like, this is a permission slip to not have to fixate on the thing that you want. And actually, it's a win-win, because it feels better on the way there, and then it will feel great when it arrives, and it just arrives so much quicker. Like, we really are hardwired when there's something we want or something we don't have to just absolutely, it be everything. And I think a lot of the time this is a nervous system trigger, in the sense of, there's always something that we need, and there's always something we're working on, especially in the world of personal development. I feel like it kind of can easily fuel this kind of pattern of always having something to work on. But honestly, sometimes it's not more thinking about it. It's not more breaking down stories and your past and really trying to work through things that way to attract it in. Sometimes it is literally just getting out of the way. And this is something I have seen so much. And I've seen it work so much. And it really is a hidden gem in the world of like magnetism and attracting what you want. And so that might be a completely different subject. Like I said, it might be doing loads of things that just bring you loads of joy, that just increase your vibration, that just feel good, just completely on a different subject. It might be just fully feeling gratitude and fulfilled and satisfied in other areas of your life. Like, love on other areas of your life. Love on what is right. Be so much more present in what you have had, and kind of see that in the present moment, everything is fine. A lot of the time what we're worrying about, whether it's, oh, I'm never going to find someone, or I'm not going to have enough money, it's a future worry. Rarely is it actually a worry right now, this second. It's a future worry. It's something that might happen, or something that might be close to happening. Rarely is it actually a present moment thing. And so how can you just enjoy your present moment for all it is, and it's how perfect it is right now? Like, how can you just be in that even more? Because that's going to attract it in. You don't have to think and focus on having it necessarily. You don't have to be saying like, I trust it's coming and da da da. Like, you don't have to be saying any of these things. Like I said, this is sometimes actually just debris on that runway. Like, it's not always helpful. Like, even if it's the right words, unless your energy is 100% behind those words, it's not actually always helpful. Sometimes it's just way easier to get out of the way. Let it in. And so how can you just love so deeply on the present moment more? Be more aware of where you are, what you're doing. This is your life now. How can you enjoy that a little bit more? How can you be in that a little bit more? Not focusing or worrying on something in the future. Right? Because worrying literally doesn't help. It literally doesn't. Whether it is the relationship or the success or the business's success or the money, worrying is the opposite of helpful. It is the worst thing to do. It doesn't help the situation. It really doesn't. So how can you just actually be with everything right now that little bit more that's just so good? Because there is so much that is so good. And 9.9 times out of 10, right now in this moment, everything is actually so good. Like in this exact moment. And this is what, our guides really want us to see and to get into the energy of, in order to just let things happen. One thing that's really come through a lot from guides is just that, there is nothing to fix. There is nothing broken. There is nothing that is wrong. There is nothing that needs to be done. This energy is not helpful. Like, it's getting into the energy of everything you've already done, everything you've already come through in your life, everything that is already great, everything that is already together and whole and perfect, because there is already so much, and you are already perfect. You always have been. It's this energy that our guides want us to sink into, to let things just start happening. And it works. I cannot tell you how much it works. So, in a nutshell, you can't have needy energy. It's not helping. It's not bringing it forward. It's doing the opposite. And if you can't have a really clean energy about it, if you can't have a super precise, perfect energy of the energy of having it, the energy of loving it, the energy of feeling fulfilled with it, then honestly, one of the best things you can do is get out of the way. Think about something else. Think about the things that are right. Think about the things that are great. Think about the things that you already have, and get out of the way. And think about that analogy of the plane landing and that visual plane landing. Like, get all the debris off the road, just let it land, let it come to you. Because it wants to come to you as well, and you really have to believe that. And you don't have to keep asking for it. That is a myth that you have to keep telling the universe what you want, because I can assure you don't. You really don't. So just let it happen, So, yeah, I'm not sure how I've been chatting now for half an hour, but, if you are someone that is feeling the need of something in your life right now, you're feeling the lack of something in your life right now, you're feeling that there is something that you want and it feels very preoccupying and it's been hard for you to attract it in, then I really hope this has given you something to kind of work with. That might not be what is normally out there with manifesting, but I can assure you it works. I'm sure the people I've been working with recently as well can assure you it works. And like I said, I know I've spoken about needy energy a lot on this podcast. It's come up with multiple things when I'm talking about manifesting, because it really is the biggest block of calling in what we want. But it does feel like a theme right now. And so it does really feel like there is, maybe something collectively right now that's just really amplifying this energy and highlighting what isn't there. And so, hopefully this has given somewhere to start for you listening, if this is you, and just really sink into that you're doing great. You're doing so well. Like you really are doing great, and just really feel that too. Like, oh, we're so hard on ourselves on just highlighting what is not there, what's not quite perfect, what's not quite the way that the vision board has it. And, sometimes we just really need to sink into the fact that you're doing great. Like, you've done really, really, really well to be here today, to be who you are today. And think about all the things that you've come through, all the things that you've had to move through, all the things that you have now that you once wanted. Like, this energy of feeling this is so, so powerful. And this is something that always comes through from guides as well. Because this is our truth. This energy of just pure self-love and compassion, and just, feeling pride for ourselves, what you've done, what you've been through, who you are today. This is the energy of our soul. This is the energy of our guides. And this is such a high frequency. And so also just don't underestimate feeling that, and just letting yourself feel that, and letting yourself be in that energy as well. Like, it really can move mountains. So this is just a full permission slip to kind of love on yourself, love on your life, love on what you have, love on who you are, love on what you've been through, and really stop focusing on what's not there. Because, like I said, if you're listening to this podcast now and you're on a phone, you're on a computer, there's a lot that's going right, and there's a lot that's beautiful, and there's a lot to be proud of, and there's a lot that you have achieved already. And so this is just a little reminder as well for you. But I would love to hear how this episode feels for you, and any takeaways. I just honestly adore hearing from you. And if there is someone that you feel could really use this episode right now, then, please feel free to share it. Hopefully it will help them. And it, of course, also supports the podcast and me. So thank you so much in advance as well for any reviews that you're able to do. And yeah, just feeling all love today for everyone and all things. So sharing that. So thank you so much for being here. And I hope to have you back here for the next one. And I just hope you have the most wonderful rest of your day. And I'm sending you so much love.